Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a beer from down under. That's right, a few weeks ago I did an unboxing, well, untubing video really. We have a tube of a load of beers from Australia. That was a terrible accent, but this is one of those beers and it is a peanut butter porter, which to me just sounds incredible. This is the first beer from that unboxing video that a good friend of the channel, Trav, sent me along to try all Australian beers. This one, as I say, is a peanut butter porter from Bad Shepherd Brewing Co. It's rocking in at a punchy 6.4%. And yeah, there's something about this one has been sticking out. This, I think, is going to be top tier. Before we get into it then, here is a quick look at the can. It's a stubby, but it's bigger than our stubbies. It's a 355ml can. I mean, pretty straightforward design, but it does the job. It looks very appetizing. Nice gold can. There are a few dings and dents in it from the postal services, but yeah, it looks pretty solid. And I'm very excited to get it open. Tough cans down under. Glass choice for today, not been used for a while. It's the kind of tulip snifter flute thing from Nottingham Craft Beer Festival. I didn't quite manage to get all of it in one go, but we'll get the rest in later. Holding this up to the light, solid porter. It's very, very dark. It's maybe a touch lighter than the majority of UK porters, but it's in the right ballpark. It's definitely a brown beer, not jet black. It's got hints of red in it, as you would expect, really. Luscious looking head on that. I mean, let me get to a bit of the glass where you can really see. There you go, look. It's yeah, it's doing the business. It looks solid. It's a pretty clear beer. There's no real haze to that at all. So yeah, looks wise, absolutely on the money. Aroma time. Super sweet, super peanutty. It's getting like, I can't remember what they were called. Were they called Mr. Tom bars? I don't know. The peanut and caramel kind of just stuck together. It's that kind of super sweet. There might be a bit of nugget in there as well, which would point you more towards Snickers, but it's got more of a almost more sweet vanilla marshmallow. And I tell you what, it does actually remind me of. You had like a heavily peanutted Rocky Road, like that's where it's going. It's got a real confectionery, friendly sweetness about it, with a heap, an absolute heap of peanut aroma. It's oh yeah, I was right, I think, about this one. I've not tried it yet, but if the taste is half of the aroma, we're in for a fantastic day. So let's not muck about. Let's get into it. Cheers, and cheers, Trav, for sending it. Incredible. That is top tier. That really is. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a critique of it, but as my first ever impression of some Australian craft beer, they're definitely doing something right. Wow. Just wow. Right then, now let's top the glass up now. We've got a bit more room. There it is. There's only a little left. And I want every last drop because it's absolutely lovely. That aroma is absolutely a thing to behold. Like, I get it with some whiskey sometimes where I spend up sitting there just enjoying the nose on it more than actually drinking it, because it's just got such a nice, interesting aroma profile. This is like that. It's really, oh, I'll tell you what it reminds me of. And I was on the right track with Rocky Road and marshmallows. It's Rice Krispie Squares, like the commercially available Kellogg's ones you get in the UK. The sweetness aroma from that is all up in there for sure. Right then, time for a top to bottom taste test, I guess. So initially, light, sweet, mild carbonation on the front of the tongue. Haven't talked a lot about the consistency or body on this beer. It's a little thin, like a tiny bit. Like the Luscious Foam head actually does it a lot of favours. The beer body itself, yeah, I say, it's a touch thin, but then again, it is a porter. But the fact that it's a 6.5% porter, I would like to see it creep back up a little bit, but it's basically something I complain about in pretty much every beer. So let's not get too carried away. It's solid though, really. There's not a lot to complain about. And after that, the next phase is where almost every beer starts to give you a bit of a hint, a bit of a tickle, a bit of a push towards bitterness. And this one doesn't. It's sweet. It becomes almost a bit creamy, a bit vanilla, marshmallowy. It's subtle, don't get me wrong. It's not intense, but that leads you to the back of the tongue where you do start to get a few indicators that this is real beer. It's got prickly bitterness, but it's not intense, it's not overwhelming, it doesn't deter from any other flavour. And when you've got a mouthful of it, just before you swallow, you do get just a hint of peanut. It's unmistakably peanut, actually. It's more than a hint, but it's not strong either. It's just, it sits there, it's lingering, it's just the tip of the hat for what is about to happen, because once you do swallow it, another wave of bitterness, but then it starts to open up. Huge, creamy, slightly vanilla-y, again, the marshmallow thing, sweetness. And then, right at the end, semi-drying, just a lasting, really just pleasant peanut flavour. It's not really, really intense, and it's not subtle either. It's balanced. It's very well balanced. You can appreciate all the aspects of the beer here, the actual raw materials, the adjuncts as well. And on the finish, I was initially going to complain about the bitterness on the finish because maybe I thought it was detracting, but actually now I've become a bit used to it. It's almost like a dark chocolate bitter finish, and as a result, peanuts, marshmallows, chocolate, well, we already know that works, right? So yeah, no complaints here whatsoever. I have got a complaint. That's all of this beer that I've got left. That stubby bit at the end there, which is very disappointing. So I'm going to savour that. And in the meantime, let's take a quick look at the can. On the front of the can then, Peanut Butter Porter by Bad Shepherd Brewing Co. 355ml. That's an American size. I mean, I'm sure the Australians use it as well based on this, but it's always 330s in the UK. 355 is a better measure because it's a bit bigger. As I said before, it's 6.4% in alcohol by volume. It's 1.8 standard Australian drinks. Now, I don't know what their measure is. I'm pretty sure that there'd be more than 1.8 UK units, so maybe their standard drinks are larger than ours. Don't really know, but anyway, we'll carry on. It does say it's got an IBU, and basically a bitterness rating of 22, which is pretty low. I feel like it, I don't know, there is definite bitterness here, but maybe it all comes in quite well at the same time. So actually throughout the whole beer it's not that high, it's just you experience it in one way, which maybe makes it slightly more elevated than it really is. It is made in Australia, in Cheltenham, Victoria. Badshepherd.com.au is their website. Certified independent brewery, all their normal legal stuff, and here's the bit you're interested in. It says, leading you into temptation. A legendary former brew crew beer returns, inspired by one of our chefs' love of Buckeye candy, a Moorish peanut butter fudge ball dipped in rich chocolate. Yes, indeed. It says, go on, Google it. Our mouth was watering when he did. Brewed with chocolate malt, chocolate wheat and hazelnuts, the hero in this creamy, decadent and full-body porter is the peanut butter character. Interesting. Now, we don't get an ingredients list on this, which is a shame. So it says hazelnuts. Whether there's peanuts and hazelnuts in this, or whether the hazelnut is just doing the job of the peanut butter and, well, the peanut and making that kind of thing. Now, they've called it peanut butter porter, but obviously they've talked about those little balls with the chocolate and everything else. So I mean, it is a peanut butter porter. It's got luscious, nutty, intense, rich, nut profiles, but also yeah, smooth creaminess that you would associate with peanut butter. But it's got more. It's more than peanut butter. It is. It's well, it's hazelnuts and chocolate. So inevitably, there are some kind of Nutella comparisons to be made here. But really, it's a bit more marshmallowy. It's a bit more. Yeah. What did they say? Peanut butter fudge balls dipped in rich chocolate. That is exactly what it tastes like, to be honest. So they did a stunning job. And as I say, this is all I've got left, which I'm very sad about. But stunning beer. Again, Trav, thank you very much. It's an absolute corker. I just thought I didn't record this, which would have been an absolute fail. But thankfully, I was reading the wrong thing on the screen. That was close. Anyway, that's all I've got to say about it. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already, subscribe if you will be so kind. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers.